Now, how to like transform this negative experience that David's having, but we're all having that. So many people, since I've been on this welfare system, I have met a lot of people that have grown up with this system that we would judge in society that are dysfunctional um, people. And some of them are like 27 years old, 30 some years old. And one guy in particular, from the day he was born, he had to raise himself. Like there was nobody making him any meals when he was even 1 years old. I've also met somebody that was kept in an attic for like the first year or two of her life, and occasionally would get a bottle, but no diaper changes, nothing, just stored, a human body stored in an attic. Um, I've heard so many horror stories of how our children are being raised. And I mean, I've seen them even in wealthy families. I mean, when I lived in Canmore years ago, there were some really, really wealthy people that just had children as an object to own, and like a possession, that they would give their kids money and say go out and play. And never, I mean, these kids were had all of the money in the world, but they were stealing in their community. They were looking for some form of excitement, some form of attention. There was nothing to do, or they would throw the money and go skiing or go do this, but they never had that one-on-one time with their parents. And don't kid yourself, kids really, really are desperate to hang around their parents, but parents don't want to hang around their kids. We think that parents don't want to, or kids don't, teenagers don't want to have anything to do with their parents, and it's like, you do. um, it's the negative talk, the negative experiences you have with your parents that you don't want to be around. And it's like, which one of us are normal? Which one of us have been raised to know what love is or how to have a good relationship with your kids? When I look at my heritage and a little bit of research, along the way, that I found years back, like my grandparents, which would be my kids' great grandparents, and them talking about their parents, which would be my great grandparents. Um, I hear stories from, 200 years old, and what life was really like. And there's always been wars. So we've been raised with our fathers going off into war and seeing killing and murder, um, mutilated bodies, and they come home and they don't want to, like, it's devastating. This is like the ultimate sin, is killing a human body. So when you are on that field and you're involved in such evil like killing another human being, the pain that they, how screwed up that makes the mind. You come home and try and pretend to be normal and not share your experiences with family. You're going to be tough. Like 200 years ago, we didn't have, everything wasn't made easy. So when you made a meal, it was taken like 3 or 4 hours to make a meal. It was like the whole day process. I mean, my grandmother had to get wood from outside, which wood had to be chopped up every day, and get the wood stove going before anybody woke up so that the house was heated. And then, it took a couple of hours to feed everybody that just came down for 2 seconds to eat and not realize the work behind it. And then when they went out and did their work, and my grandmother was in there getting lunch ready, and still looking after the wood stove. And then when they went back out to work for supper, like that's her whole day was about cooking. Right now, you put your food in a microwave. back then, how we raised families, just the way we had our families, um, we were not consciously aware of the human body and of babies and of love and of happiness. Back then, there was no such thing as love and happiness. There was only survival, that you lived to survive. You did what you had to do to survive it all. You were workers. You had children to work the farms because you needed to eat. It was a lot tougher to survive 200 years ago than it was now, and you needed the manpower to accomplish the job. And humans didn't really think. We are getting highly educated right now, but back 200 years we didn't know half the shit we know now. um, so leaders felt they needed to guide us and tell us what the right thing was to do, and so we formed religion. And not like religion was just formed 200 years ago, but I mean, if we were in survival mode, and didn't know the value of family and how to love each other and how to treat each other well, and raise well-adjusted kids, um, think of what it was like thousands of years ago. So this is where religion came from, and it's just somebody's concept of what they thought was the right thing to do. But it was the right thing to do back then, but now the right thing to do, and how we've changed our interpretation of words. And we're starting to learn more about love, that love's not supposed to be a hurtful thing, but love from a Bible will tell you discipline. When you're beating on your kid to do the right thing, what you're actually doing is disciplining them. Um, some kids are born with unique talents that are not accepted. So parents will beat the crap out of them, trying not to let them be who they were born to be. So if you're born being told that you're no good from birth, then you're going to turn out exactly the way somebody created you to be. You are going to be influenced by somebody else's words and interpretation of how they're viewing you. So, if a girl was raised to say you're no good, you've been no good from birth, then anything they do will be of no good. So, a mother that was raised, a child, a girl that was raised to believe she's no good and then has kids, do you think she's going to teach her kids anything good? Do you think love is actually going to be something that feels good when all of her life she's been told that we're hurting you because we love you? So in her twisted mind, she's going to have kids that are going to mirror what she's been taught. So, um, when we're trying to overcome some of the pain from our past, kind of look at um, whatever your parents did to you, there was something a lot worse done to them. And they just don't know any better. They don't know how to love. They don't know what happiness is as they think they do. So it does involve forgive them, for they know not what they're doing. And it's just time for us to know a little better, not get so affected by these negative experiences, because ultimately every single one of us that are experiencing negativity is a lack of love. um, you were either raised with a lack of love, and you know if you come back with hate, that negative energy, you hate your childhood, you hate all of those abusive experiences, then you're going to throw off more hate, and evil lives, evil wins, evil grows. But if you can sort of absorb that negative experience, grow from it, and say, I understand where you're coming from, I understand that you just don't know what it is you're doing, I understand that you are lacking a great deal of love. Um, I see something different. And, then you want to transform that lack of love, which means you have to do work yourself now. You can't send love to this person that's lacking love until you start loving yourself. That if you've gone through something that's so painful, you have to see that in order for you to see a different picture, to see that this was not love, means you do know what love looks like. But you cannot put love out into your world until you can know how to love yourself in that way. What's the magical way you'd like heaven to be? How do you want other people to treat you? Can you treat yourself that way? Can you get excited about your life? Can you see a purpose in your life? Your purpose is going to be the solution to the pain that you've experienced. And when you can get to that point, when you can get to loving yourself and see the value and importance of yourself, then you can help other people. And that's where I'm at is I gotta love myself a hell of a lot more. I'm not loving my life. I'm faking it until I'm making it. I know from past experiences that you just take baby steps. And, it is, why the hell would I know what I know? Why the hell did I go through all of this experiences? There's got to be a purpose for all of this. And throughout my life, purposes unfold. There's um, a reason why I you know, I've always seen that, okay, I may be into a lot of different stuff, but then eventually it's like, if I didn't take programming, I wouldn't have known this. If I didn't study this, I wouldn't have known that. I've studied business management. I've been involved in courts. I've been involved with government. All of that is coming together now that, oh, it's part of a big puzzle. Now you can see a bigger picture. So while you're in the middle of the game, you may not see that there's a reason why you're there, and you're picking up information from that experience. And once you connect the dots to your own life, then you see what that your purpose is. And right now I see that there's something bigger than me going on, but I know that I have to fall into my life purpose. And I know that I will not be in my life purpose until I get myself in perfect shape and get myself onto a really, really healthy routine. I need to be stronger so that when negative energy comes at me, that I have like this shield that doesn't affect me. I don't turn into it. And clearly I'm not there yet. Like I got affected by a negative email from David, which I should have known better that something else was going on. So I know that the more I believe in myself, which I'll believe in myself if my body was healthier, and I know exactly what to do. um, so if it means that my computer needs to break down to make sure that I do what it is I need to do, then I can see how I'm like law of attraction, attracting my computer to break down. I'm also seeing that it doesn't really make any sense because the whole purpose of, you know, getting outside, I need to have a reason, to feel like I'm doing something. So, making the videos while I'm outside walking is, you know, sharing information. Trust me, I feel like I've got to purge information out. It gives me purpose. So, not having a computer seems to be a cycle that, no, I won't be living my purpose if I don't have a computer. So don't break the computer. So make it limited. So it's funny how it all works out, but I think I will be able to upload some videos. Like I say, I don't have a computer yet, but I have access um, to one from time to time, and expecting some other ones. So I'm attracting it. Now I've got to follow through on you know the workout. So it's like there's promises to myself. Don't go out and make any more videos unless they're outside, and don't go outside and make any videos unless you've done a workout first. And I'm having a feeling that it's going to be evening ones because I have nothing to do in the evening anymore. Which means that I'll probably get better sleep, which is something that I really need to do too, is get more sleep. So, um, to David, you will get past this, and you will find, a deeper level of love that you've never ever experienced before. So feel the pain of what you're going through, but ask that pain how you can grow from it, and heal your heart. Because once your heart is healed, I mean, if you can